Good evening, everyone. It is 6 o'clock on Tuesday, December 9th, and I'd like to call this meeting of the Citrus Heights Planning Commission to order. Would you call the roll, please? Flag salute first? Okay. Marcel, would you please do flag salute?
It's on.
I know it's on.
Hello? Hello?
Testing.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello.
Testing.
But it's for the recording, not necessarily for the people.
Hello?
Hey, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Kinderwater,
Present.
Commissioner Kaufman,
Here.
Commissioner Al-Rawi,
Here.
Commissioner Usick, Commissioner Van Duker,
Here.
Vice Chair Flowers,
Present.
Chair Sheeler.
Here.
Thank you.
On the consent calendar, we have the minutes from the September 9th meeting. Presume all the commissioners have overlooked those. Any comments or changes to those minutes? Can I have a motion?
I move we accept the minutes of the September 9th meeting.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Public comment. This portion of the agenda is available for the public to access the Planning Commission on any issue. That is not on the agenda. There will be a limit of 3 minutes per speaker. If anyone wishes to address the commission regarding a topic or issue that is not on the agenda this evening, please approach the podium. Seeing no people. On regular agenda?
Regular calendar, we're ready to read the regular calendar item 5A for 7859 Casabella.
Sorry, hi. My name is Stephanie, and I will be doing a presentation on the determination of general plan consistency for Casa Bella Way property. And so tonight's action is just make findings required under Government Code Section 65402 to support the disposition of one vacant single-family home located at 7859 Casa Bella Way. So what is Government Code Section 65402? So this section basically ensures that any disposition of land that's publicly owned by a local agency is consistent with the agency's general plan. So in this process, the Planning Commission must determine that the disposition of the property will not conflict with the goals, policies, or land use designations that are listed in our general plan. And what this does is that ensures that the property is disposed of in a way that furthers community planning objectives. And on the screen, this is just a location of the current property. So with this location, there is no identified need for the property within our general plan. The property used to be a former safe house that helped women and children experiencing domestic violence. And then when the organization dissolved, the city obtained this property. And so basically, just with this, we're determining, Planning Commission is determining that this property and the city disposing of this property is consistent. And so staff finds that the transfer of the property is consistent with our general plan goals and policies. Land use designation will remain at very low density residential. The transfer will remain, with the transfer, it will remain a single family home. And the disposition is not associated with any development plans. In the future, if there are any development plans after the sale, it will be reviewed with the appropriate entitlement process if needed and when that time comes. It's pretty simple, just a recommended motion. And if you have questions about this, we're here to answer them.
Commissioners, any questions? Seeing none, do I have a motion?
I motion that we adopt, I have to read the whole thing, right? I make the motion that we adopt resolution number 2025-04, a resolution of the Citrus Heights Planning Commission of the City of Citrus Heights, California, adopting its report and certain findings required in California Government Code Section 65402 for the disposition of existing single-family residential property on Casabella Way.
I'll second.
You want a roll call?
You can, yep, you can just take them all at once.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
City staff will provide an overview of the local hazard mitigation plan with Principal Civil Engineer and NOAA expert Daniel Caher.
Well, thank you very much for the introduction. Good to see you all, planning commissioners, at our last meeting of 2025. Again, as stated, I'm Daniel Caher, Principal Civil Engineer in the General Services Department. One of the three designees as a stakeholder for the City of Citrus Heights for the county, Sacramento County 2026 Local Hazard Mitigation Plan update. We also have stakeholders from the city, including our operations manager, Mary Poole, and one of our planning associates, Stephanie Louie. So I'm here just to provide information of the update that is ongoing. We do plan as a region in Sacramento County, all the jurisdictions, districts, and special interest parties within the county join together for one mitigation plan. We update these every 5 years, and I will explain a little bit more on the reasons and the process. So as I mentioned, it is a multi-jurisdiction plan. There's actually 32 agencies involved in this hazard mitigation plan for our region, which is enclosed within Sacramento County's borders. The lead agency on this is Sacramento County itself, and brings along all of its cities, obviously including Citrus Heights, fire districts, reclamation districts, water districts, school districts, flood control districts, and a few homeowners associations. This is a 5-year update to our existing and published 2021 local hazard mitigation plan. So this would be updating for any new hazards experienced since 2020, 2021 timeframe to today. We do plan on bringing this forward to California Office of Emergency Services in 2026. That's why it is dated 2026 plan update. What I have here is the link to the current plan for any of those interested in reviewing the existing document that we plan on updating. And in particular, I highlighted on the left here Annex A, which is specific to the City of Citrus Heights. Some of the environmental hazards that are in our county don't particularly exist in Citrus Heights, so each jurisdiction gets its own annex. And then here in the middle, kind of bottom portion of the screen is all of the participating jurisdictions identified so far, and we are very early in the planning process. This is, again, a 5-year update to the existing plan. Each stakeholder is assigned a specific annex. This is regional planning for hazard mitigation, so that means any sustained action taken to reduce or eliminate long-term risk of human life, property, and the environment from hazards. We are looking for measures that reduce the chance of a disaster or reduces the damaging effects of unavoidable disasters. And I do want to clarify, these are natural hazard focus, so something that would be environment-based and not directly human-caused. You'll see later on, we do have like global warming and climate change as one of those items, but for instance, cyber attacks or a lone gunman or a rogue driver of a vehicle would not qualify for this particular plans. There are other mitigation plans available and is not the focus of this particular document. Overall, our goal is to reduce the loss of life, property damage, and economic hardship. It promotes disaster resilient and sustainable communities within its borders. And the listed mitigation projects allow for FEMA pre- and post-disaster funding. So if we didn't have this plan after a disaster, we could not apply for FEMA funding. And we actually have ongoing pre-disaster applications for some FEMA grant funding. So this is a really critical plan we do utilize here locally. And then it is a major part and requirement of FEMA's community rating system, or the flood insurance discount program that I briefly touched on a previous presentation on our stormwater management policies here at the city. A really interesting tidbit of fact that came out of the National Institute of Building Science Multi-Hazard Mitigation Council in 2019 is, for every dollar spent on mitigation, it saves society an average of $6 in avoided losses, in addition to saving those lives and property in the first place. And I understand about 6 years before this 2019 report came out, it was $3 in value. So we just see a continued increased benefit for this type of planning activity. So listed here are the current types of natural hazards in our region that we're particularly looking at countywide, including climate change, sea level rise, saltwater intrusion, dam failures, drought and water shortage, which does affect our urban forestry or tree mortality, earthquakes and associated subhazards such as liquefaction and destabilizing of buildings, flooding, localized flooding that isn't necessarily involved with creeks and waterways, landslides, mudslides, levee failures. That's one of those that won't particularly impact Citrus Heights, but is prevalent within the county. Severe weather, very cold, very hot, high winds, high rain. We are seeing more frequency of tornadoes in the state of California, so we are keeping an eye on that. General subsidence from groundwater depletion, wildfires, associated smoke and air quality that comes from that, and aquatic nuisance species such as algae or those golden mussels we're hearing a lot about in the news today. And then just a side note, power outages and public safety power shutoffs from PG&E will all be discussed and kind of captured within some of these other hazards. I did want to provide you an update. Last time I talked about the city's stormwater management program, we were being evaluated for the community rating system. I am happy to state that we have been confirmed as our first time ever a Class 7 community. We are one of 3 in the entire region that actually have decided to join this community rating system. As you can see, nationwide, there are over 22,000 jurisdictions within the National Flood Insurance Program, but only 1,500 participate in this flood insurance discount program. So, you know, some of our local efforts here are seeing some benefits to all of our residents. Notably, there's only 2 Class 1s in the entire country, Tulsa, Oklahoma, which recently obtained Class 1, and the city of Roseville. And as you can see by the chart here on the right, it's really, really hard to get above that kind of Class 6 and 7 level. Each of those red lines indicated on the table there denotes a specific prerequisite, whether that be local floodplain modeling or enhanced standards or mitigation projects established by the jurisdiction. So that was one of our 2 limiting factors from jumping into Class 6, but staff here in Citrus Heights are planning to improve our scores over the years, and hopefully our residents will see more than a 15% discount. But now we can confirm for at least the next 5 years, all of our residents will be receiving a 15% flood insurance discount. No action needed. All right, the real reason I'm here today is to inform you as the purpose of the mitigation plan and get some public interest and participation is encouraged. So when we update these mitigation plans, we have two major groups. We have our stakeholders and the general public. The stakeholders obviously include the government, the agencies, districts that I showed you on that list, but it also includes very interested private stakeholders that would want to join our steering committee. Joining that steering committee obviously comes with some responsibility. We expect attendance at the majority, if not all, of our steering committee meetings, direct input on identifying hazards and mitigations to those hazards, potential projects down the line, and then providing comments on the draft local hazard mitigation plan before it does reach the public eyes. You can see here we do have 5 planned steering committee meeting dates. One unfortunately did happen last week, and we did not have a planning commission meeting, otherwise I would have told you before. And then we are scheduling a flood-specific stakeholder meeting that the date has yet to be determined. I will say that the locations, the dates have been selected, but the locations of these meetings have not been picked. If you are interested in joining our steering committee, please reach out to me. Contact information is down here, and I'm sure you're able to get a hold of me otherwise. Otherwise, all residents within Sacramento County will be receiving notices. I did get confirmation beyond the press releases, social media blasts that the county and City of Citrus Heights is putting out for this plan update. You should have received a notice within your Cubs utility billings. So keep an eye out for those coming up, and those will definitely have those specific locations of the date for the general public. There are only 2 left on this plan update to the general public, but definitely want to encourage all those interested to attend. And just an overview of the schedule moving forward for this mitigation plan update in, August. We will have the draft mitigation plan to the stakeholders and steering committee. A couple of months there in October, it will be routed to the public for comment and circulation. Depending on the level of comments received and the difficulty in addressing those comments, sometime in December of next year, we do plan to submit to California Office of Emergency Services for approval. Once the plan is approved and deemed complete, meeting all of FEMA's requirements, we will be bringing it back to our city council for adoption. And then the sheet here shown on the right of the screen is an example, the preferred method of how we would like to document any known events that happened, basically from 2021 to present day, to be able to categorize some of these risks and identify some of these potential projects moving forward. Thank you very much for hearing me out. I hope you enjoyed and have some interest.
No questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next item.
That would be general correspondence, and I don't believe there, Casey, did you have anything?
I just want to wish the commission happy holidays and hopefully get some time off to hang out with your family and friends and enjoy the season. Thank you very much.
Very good. Therefore, I call this meeting to a close at 6:18 on Tuesday, December 9th. Merry Christmas. Thank you.